Hi, I'm Ellie from crystallinks.com. Today is Tuesday, June 19th, 2018. I'm here to talk about Donald Trump's Space Force. Back in the day, when someone would say Space Force, it usually took me to sci-fi and humans battling aliens and so on and so forth, and everything you've seen in film and on TV you've read about, and all the video games and gaming, all of that. And then I learned that a space force could be needed. Why? Because as we're moving out, as humanity is moving more away from this planet and moving into space, we're going to set up the same thing we've always done. Who is in charge? Who's the strongest factor in space? Who makes the decisions? You know, as a race, we have always fought on land. Always. We fought in the oceans and the waters. We have all our navies to do battle going back as far as we can remember. We fight in the air. As soon as we could get in the air, it's always, okay, we're in the air. We're going to have an air force and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. So humanity has always been about the battle. And now I'm sure you know we're moving more and more into space for whatever that's about, whether it's going to incorporate a connection with aliens who are guiding what's going on with humans in space, or determining what we're doing in space, or going to do battle with us, in space, whatever that's about. Now we suddenly have this concept that Trump wants to set up a space force as a sixth branch of the U.S. military, which, something, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Now, of course, for him, it's maybe, controlling space, us versus the Russians or the Chinese or perhaps another country. But it's always going to be about the battle, isn't it? It's always going to be about who controls space, who's going to control the moon, who's going to control lunar mining, who's going to put their military out there. Is this a branch of the Air Force, or is this a separate entity made up of, I guess, astronauts? But okay, so that said, you have to take a look at really what's going on. Donald Trump is a guy who, whatever he promised to whoever he promised it, he sort of, gave the impression that he's going to take us in a new and better direction. I say we have always been about diversions, conspiracies, lies, and even if a president is going to take us in another direction, it's only going to incorporate a different version of conspiracies, lies, and deceit. I mean, this is it. It's all one big diversion. Okay. But there's something different now. There's something about moving into space, and suddenly the games are not played on the Earth game board anymore. We may not want to do battle over different countries, although I have to say this, what's going on with the Earth and climate changes now is taking its toll on the planet any way you look at it. I mean, I'm not going to go into that right now, but there's something important about moving into space, which takes us to the secrets, lies, and diversions having to do with our connections with aliens. And I really believe that other presidents have known what some of these things are. They probably don't know all of them because we're so gullible, humans, we probably believe this and that. But I really felt that Donald Trump is a man who likes to speak before he thinks. And once he gets his hands on some concrete information, or maybe not so concrete information, about our connections to ETs and how that connection has influenced humanity over, I don't know, close to 100 years, at least since the end of World War II, which is the 1940s. But he's going to take that information and he's going to make it public. Everything that's been redacted in every government document, every MUFON document, every document that has ever said this UFO crash, this happened, this happened, this happened. And people have spent decades trying to figure this all out. Are there people out there who know about this? I'm sure they do, or at least probably in sections, like they probably know about this incident or that incident or whatever. Are there databases to that effect? Most likely. And you might find them in the most ridiculous places, like perhaps under the Vatican, perhaps something else connected to religion. They may not just be like, okay, we're going to go to the Library of Congress or something like that to get our information. There are secrets and lies. Okay, you know what I know. And we really know that there is an alien connection. We really want it to come forward. To have a space force could be to A, do battle with aliens, B, do battle over space and its territories as humans, which is unfortunately in our nature to do. I don't think it's a bad idea to have a space force, depending on funding and what these guys are going to come up with. Suppose another UFO, and there's been many crashes, okay? So is it the Space Force, the Air Force, the Army, which branch of the military, and all those other organizations, FBI, CIA, everybody, okay, all those initials, all those groups, and there's so much more than I thought that I'm learning about now. But who's going to go after the wreckage? Who's going to go after the debris? Who's in charge of the cover-ups? How is this all going to work, okay? It's like the truth of all of this is sitting at a precipice, and it's got to come out now. It's all got to come out. It is the only reason that I thought Trump was elected. He wasn't a professional politician. He certainly has way over the top ambitions that are personal. He has emotional problems, and yes, you know all his flaws, and as we all do, and we're seeing them unfold even more. So, okay, that's all diversions again. What is really going on in terms of dissemination of information, in terms of alien connections, alien technology, and what people have learned about alien agendas? Does it go back to ancient aliens who were supposed to come back here? The ones who allegedly, in another subroutine of our hologram, created pyramids and created all of the Nazca lines and all of the markings that insinuate that aliens came here, be they giants or grays or whoever. I mean, are they coming back? Some people will tell you they've been here. They've always been here. They still are here, and they interact on a regular basis, either in screened images. They can morph into whoever. I don't know. This is old news. When I see this rehashed on TV, I'm like, yeah. Just let's talk about what's the truth. And I know most of you, if you're into all of this research, feel like we're so close. It's all going to come to the fore. And I would tend to agree with that. It's been decades already. Enough is enough, I mean, technology is bringing us to that point, and whoever it is, whether it's the hologram bringing us the technology or aliens, or alien tech that we've redone so that we can, reversed is the right word, that we can do this. But, it's all coming to a head right now. Life as we know it on this planet, with all of its secrets, you can feel it, you can sense it in the behavior of humans, in the way everything is unfolding more and more, day after day after day. It's all coming to a head. And the answers, I don't think the answers are even here on this planet. I'm not saying that there's some God force. I don't believe in a mythological God who created all of this. If that's your belief, that's fine. But there's too many things that say no. But I'm not even believing that aliens created us and we're part of their biological experiment, which is what a lot of people think. I'm just saying whatever the answers are, I don't know that they're going to come to pass on this planet unless something is done in the blink of an eye, and all of a sudden we're like, okay, we always knew that, and now we have proof. A space force, to me, depending, what conspiracies lie behind all of that. Are they created really by aliens? Are they created by humans? Or what? I don't know, but I don't think it's a bad idea, and I also think it's part of the future. So we really, it's like Donald Trump is going to move us forward into truth, even though he lies about just about everything. And if he's hearing this, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. But, the bottom line is there's truth out there. There's truth to be known. We sense it's going to happen within our lifetimes. We feel it. We know it. If it takes a space force out there somewhere, to zap the bad guys or zap the bad aliens, fine. I also believe with the alien agendas that if they were going to destroy us, they would have. If they were going to help us, maybe they have and we don't know it. They seem to be, whichever alien groups, I've heard there are so many alien groups, and what we seem to be familiar with, for the most part, the most popular alien group seems to be the alien grays, and it doesn't matter, It's like, let's just get on with the next. It's very tedious living here, watching everything around us imploding. And that's exactly what's happening. I mean, I've got a good life. I'm not complaining. Everything is good within my family and in my life. But I look at the big picture every day and I report on things. And I, in my own little way, try to move consciousness into certain realizations. And I don't force anybody to believe anything, because you're programmed to believe what you're programmed to believe. And to me, I like to keep everything as simple as possible, meaning this is a holographic illusion or a simulation in which we go down different roads and we observe different things, and based on our programming, those are the decisions we make and what happens to us. So with this whole alien thing, and I do have an overlapping connection into this Space Force somehow is running parallel, like they're two tracks. It's running parallel with the finding out the truth about at least one, if not more, alien factions, and how they have and continue to influence everything that goes on in what we believe is our reality and our world. So I am for the Space Force. I salute them. I'd like to see what their uniforms look like. I also, whatever's going to be with that's going to be. I hope there's money for that. There's so many other things that's wrong that need fixing, but our reality, no matter how you look at it, in summation, is broken. Be it the military, okay? Mostly good people, mostly dedicated. Why we are still sending soldiers to foreign countries to fight in wars that we have no business in. Please, I went out on the whole thing with Vietnam. I go back to Vietnam and I was like, why are we going there? We're going to lose this war. When I was a little girl, there was Korea. Why are we going there? Korea is going to be an issue. I was a little girl in public school and I used to say, Korea is going to be an issue all the way to the end of, okay, when you say the end, everybody has a different concept of the end, but yet still it's instilled in you that there is an end to something. Is it the end of the planet? Is it going to blow up? Is it tsunamis and earthquakes and nuclear holocaust? I don't see any of that, to tell you the truth. I really don't. It's just the end of a simulation or an end of an experiment in which we are part, kicking and screaming and saying this is stupid and what the hell are we doing in physical reality when we should be out there. At least we should be off this planet and exploring other things and other places and other worlds, which the scientists will say, yes, that's just ahead. It's for the new generations to do that. I don't know. I don't know about that. All I know is I like the idea of a Space Force. However Donald Trump works it out with whoever, he doesn't seem to listen to the military anyway. He doesn't listen to anybody. But however this works out, it works out. But it is all going somewhere. And the answers are in space. They're not here. We can spin our wheels and spend eternity trying to figure out all of what makes this physical reality on planet Earth tick. The answers are not really here. The conspiracies are here and some truths are here, but the answers are not really here. So let's get out into space, okay? Okay, it's not just for future generations. Let's find out the truth about aliens, UFOs, stories that people say they've been taken on ships and things that have happened. Say, I was someone at 11 years old that was taken on a ship and programmed for the whole way my life turned out. I was shown things. I was not in any way harmed, physically, emotionally, whatever. I was just shown, or you could say programmed, or you could say whatever. And I think that's what's led me to where I am now. I just feel that the way our life is today on June 19, 2018, tomorrow it's a different horizon. The next day something new. It's not like things are going to change over decades, over millennium, and then centuries, and then decades, and then years and months. It's constantly in a state of change. It's like a spiral, and it's spiraling back to its 0 point. It's reversing, and it's going back to its 0 point. Along the way, you and I and everybody else who are part of this hologram, hopefully, fingers crossed, we are going to find out some of the truths we have been waiting eternity to find out. The Space Force, I don't know. I don't know what weapons they'll have that, of course, we don't know about, what stealth technology, half the people on the planet know we go to the moon and back. There's just so much. So let's get on with it. I salute the guys and ladies who will be part of this. I wish them truth. That's what I wish them. Discovery, truth, and I would say peace, but as long as we're in physical reality, it's apparent that it's not going to happen. So good luck to everyone, and see you next time. Thank you for listening.